I am at Popeyes and I am about to have my first meal of the day. I've drank about 32 ounces of water and I'm kind of still excited about yesterday's shirt. That white shirt that I put on with my David S. Blumpkin outfit. The one that, what's his name, played? Tom Hanks on SNL. And it inspired me to go run and pull out this one here. So this is the one that I'm wearing today. Sitting down, the button I had the button, that button right there, and this button here, but I decided to throw on a sweater over it because I was like, this shirt was still not, at least I can sit down while the shirt is buttoned and not necessarily have them pop out, which one did. You saw when I lifted the shirt up, one totally popped out. So that's just the reality of, maybe being a couple of weeks ahead of schedule or in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna put on those damn those shirts. So I decided to get a three-piece. So I got the three-piece Popeyes fried chicken. Can you see that? Along with the mashed potato. And I got this here too. So I am having fried chicken and I am losing weight at the same time because of intermittent fasting. I am doing this right now guilt-free for the first time in years, no exaggeration. So it's a girl at the register. She was having a hard time and I asked, how many days have you been here? And she said she's been here a week. And I have to tell you, I think she should be able to do better than that in a week. She was having a hard time, messing up a lot of orders. And I hope she wasn't smoking before she came to work with numbers, because you cannot smoke marijuana on your break and then come back at dinner time. This after work crowd, the 5 to 7 crowd. It's 7 o'clock right now. And think that you're going to be focused. And I say that respectfully because I don't know her, I don't know what she's doing, but you do not tell me that you've been here a week and you can't get this right by now. But a lot of people, I'm breaking the biscuit, and then I'm going to take the biscuit and I'm going to dunk the biscuit right onto the mash. Biscuit, mash. I used to use jelly on my biscuit, but now I use the mashed potato. Can you get this? Damn, there you go. So I do the mash and the biscuit. I'm looking at this meal and I'm feeling like, whoa, this might be too much. Very difficult to order anything smaller than the 3-piece. Not a lot of salt in this particular Popeyes, which I'm happy. You know, you go to these Popeyes and some places, yo, check it out. This particular Popeyes that I'm in, you can actually see them cooking the chicken, which I've never seen before. It's always been with way beyond eyes reach. You can't see it no matter how hard you try. And this one you was able to see, and they actually using deep fryers. Electronic deep fryers with a timer, and the timer is not like going crazy if the guy doesn't press it. It's like he puts the chicken in the fryer, then he has to go back and he has to actually, you know, flip the food around. He has to flip it around, and he's working back there. It's not like just some pressing a button that tells you when to pick it up. No. You have to separate them. All this time, I thought that it was a pressure fryer. I did not know Popeyes did not use pressure fryers. I'm so amazed by that. The chicken is hitting those comfort sensors in the brain. It's just amazing how the brain and food operate. And there's so much science involved. Most people would say, dude, science already has figured out what you're going through. I say, and I would argue, I would challenge that science is not even willing to go where I've gone. Only because the hell do they want people thinking different when we can all, what I was doing was pushing all of the skin out. I don't want all that skin. That's something I've been doing for years. And I still feel guilty even though I don't even eat 85% of the skin. Now, there won't be any guilt whatsoever. I felt great when I woke up today. I had such a great time with the kids last night. And then when I got out of the bed today, I had such energy. Then I went to the restroom, and it was just like, you know, such a great experience. Not stressful or painful. When I say painful, like my stomach wasn't turning. It was just such a good experience. Lately, it's been great to go there. I'm gonna digress from this conversation, but that's such a great day today. By the way, I just left work. My clients are out of town, like always on Fridays. Gives me a chance to see my children more. Gives me an opportunity to just, you know, try to figure out things in my life. It feels like This part of my life I'm really happy about. The weight I just need to get out of here. And it's more than just putting on a few shirts that I used to own and thought they were cool. Because the truth is, this shirt that I have on, the 2X shirt that I got from Kohl's, I believe it's apartment 9. It's a 2X, not a 2XB. It was too big when I had it, when I was that size. So, I am ahead of schedule on my goal to, what's the words? I'm ahead of schedule on my goal for as far as my shirts are concerned. But now, I'm gonna stay focused and try to stay within this window. A window in which I thought was closed the other night and somehow found a crack in the window and I snuck in. What did I sneak in? I snuck in a Chimmy from Jerome Avenue and 181st Street. Authentic Chimmy. You know, the stuff that the cab drivers stop and eat. Processed. Let me show you. Wow. Hard to believe that came out of a fryer. Very difficult to imagine. I've never worked at Popeyes. But if you can get chicken to be this tender coming out of a deep fryer that's been, I mean, it's been electronically cooled, so that's a good thing. Because a lot of the problem I've always had with my fryers was that low temperature control and the high temperature control. That time window between that can make the difference on if your bread is gonna stick or if the middle's gonna cook without you having to stab it. And I mean stab it with like the fork. You stab it with the fork so that you can get the oil to penetrate through the chicken. But what happens is you boil the chicken inside. And you want to fry it, not boil it. A lot of people don't know the difference. So, pretty good breast. Very tender. How did they get it this tender? And put it in a fryer. Not a pressure fryer. Like KFC. Like KFC uses. No, not a pressure fryer. How do you just deep fry this and have it so tender? The only way I would think is they would brine it. I'm wondering, where would you brine this much chicken? Tender and juicy. How do you get fried chicken this good? And put it in a fryer and deep fry it. How's that real? I only know one way is to brine. Does this corporation ship over brined already chicken? When they open up the pack of chicken that's already brined? Must have to be. You know, when you see those solutions in the bag, titles. That's what that solution is, some sort of briming agent, I'm imagining. I do that stuff myself, but that's because I make some of the greatest fried chicken in the world. It took years to do though. A lot of years. So, but I do appreciate Popeyes. And when you're a fat person like me, or when you're the fat person that I've been, I go to KFC, I go to Church's Fried Chicken, I go to, even though I haven't been to Church's in a long time, but I go to Wings and Things in Maspeth, Hempstead, I guess, Hempstead. I go to Melba's on 119th Street. I go to I'm not loyal. I'm not loyal at all. Alright. Not enough napkins, but look at all the skin I'm leaving behind. That I've been doing for quite some time, is not eating all of that skin. But I feel the comfortness that I feel right now and the fullness that I feel is not followed up by guilt and hatred and stress and wishing that I wasn't that weak, hating myself. And I've lost more weight than this before, and those feelings never went away. It's the intermittent fasting that has truly made the difference in my life. That's what's made the difference, not the weight loss. I'm not on a weight loss high. I've lost this much weight. This shirt that I'm putting on is just the shirt that I was wearing while I was still fat. It's still a fat man's shirt. I'm happy to be wearing it. Very happy to be wearing it, but I am not in any way, shape, or form going to believe in any way that it's because I'm losing weight that I'm feeling the way I'm feeling or thinking the way I'm thinking. No, I've lost weight before. That's not what's going on here. I forgot my drink. I'm gonna go get my drink. I'm going to take the pie with me, eat the pie on the way to where I'm going, and I am thankful that you're here. Thankful that you're here with me. Thankful that you chose to listen this far, because I believe in you. The world will tell us that the attention span of the average American or person is 4 or 5 seconds. And I would say no, it's not. Because if that was true, then how would we get all the things that we do have, all the products that we do have are shipped here, are driven here, are stocked on a shelf. And in order to do these things, you have to focus for more than 5 seconds at a time. So I don't buy into the idea that, I need to be more concise, because the world isn't as concise, and I'm not under a time constraint. I don't have a point that I have to make at this particular time to generate what my role is here, because my role here is really truly undefined. My role here is to pick up the camera, press record on the days I'm doing great and on the days I'm doing horrible. And will I get a tripod? Will I get a microphone? Will I just started to rotate the phone. You can thank Miss Guadalupe for that. More on her on another date, I'm sure. And I am here just to just keep it real. The other day when I stopped and had the Chimmy and the Coke, the can of Coke, I didn't get in my head. Surprisingly, I didn't get in my head. Surprisingly, I didn't beat myself up. Surprisingly, I didn't feel guilty. I recognize that these things will happen. Relapsing, binging, whatever that is, but I think it's more than just saying it's okay. I think it's also understanding that not only is it okay, but so what? So what? Food will not be the boss of me anymore. And I don't have to run every day to prove that. I don't have to have a salad at 2 o'clock, salmon at 5 o'clock, and then some tea at 9 o'clock in order to live that life. Be in my moment, be in my present, be in my truth. I don't need all that. All those rules, all those belief systems, what this intermittent fasting has taught me is that all those rules are there so that you can maybe test yourself or question the world. I don't know. And I'm not going to beat myself up because I went and had a Chimmy. And by the way, what a Chimmy is, they have chicken and they have pork. And what they do is they take, maybe I need to get a tripod. Maybe it's time. But what a Chimmy is they take pork and they process it by, it's different pork parts. It's very street food, cab driver food, truck driver food. It's very poor people food. I mean, they charged me $8 for it though. So they charged me $8 for the street food, poor people food. So I know if I was poor, I probably wouldn't be able to afford a damn $8 Chimmy. Okay? But in the world of Chimmies, it was good because they saturated with that Thousand Island salad dressing that they don't even know it's Thousand Island salad dressing. They just put mayonnaise and ketchup together and they just spread it all over raw cabbage. And the cabbage is on top of 550, 600, 700 degree meat that they cook up in the hottest spot on the grill. So it takes 5 minutes after being served this damn Chimmy in order to eat the damn thing. You have to be able to drink black hot coffee in the morning to eat the fucking Chimmy. Excuse my language, sorry about that. But it's like, despite all that, it's good. I don't think I'll be going back there for a Chimmy. There's other better spots than there, but I have to admit I like the washed down versions of the Chimmy better than the actual hardcore Chimmy. Like the one I had was pretty hardcore, You got these pork parts that they just like turn into some sort of loaf, and the loaf could be like 10 pounds, and they just break off, with a spatula that you do plastering with. They break that off and they dig into it and they put it on the grill, the hottest part of the grill, and they toast the bread. It's supposed to be like a stale bread, but now I don't think they do that any longer. But years ago, when I would eat a Chimmy, it was always on a stale-esque kind of bread, and the reason why there was so much sauce on top of the meat was because, or at least on top of, the proper way to do it is you put the meat on the bottom part of the bread, and no, they put the meat on not the bottom part of the bread. This is the interesting part here. When you cut the sandwich, the top part of the bread, that round part of the bread that's toasted, that's actually where they put the meat first. Then they put the cabbage, which is like the coleslaw without any wetness. It's just raw cabbage sliced up into Miss Julienne. It's sliced really well, like you would do a coleslaw, and then they pour that Thousand Islands dressing all over it. And if you tell them you want it spicy, they'll just throw some spice first on top of the cabbage, then they throw the Thousand Island on top of that. And the reason why it was saturated so much was because the stale bread would crumble as you ate it. But being that they put the meat on the top part of the bread, it's like basically like the muffin top. That muffin top, a part of a normal Kaiser roll, is where they put the meat first, they put the cabbage, the dressing, and then that bottom part of the bread they cut really thin, and that now becomes the top of the bread, the top of the sandwich. So, and it's piping hot. Oh my God. And then after about 5 minutes it cools off, and then you eat it and it's pretty good. And then when you get to the middle of it, you're wondering, why did I do this? What was I doing? So now what you realize is that it's good enough to finish the sandwich. So what you wind up doing is you wind up finishing the sandwich. You say, you know what? I'm gonna eat the whole thing. So that's what you do. You eat the whole thing. It's good. It's good. But it's straight up cab driver food. There's one other person that I go to for a Chimmy, and they do more of like a California style Chimmy where they process the Chimmy like not in this big loaf. They actually they put wax paper in between it the way you would do a burger or burger patties. So they do their own patties, and they'll do the chicken, and they'll do the chicken, and they'll also do the pork. So I prefer the pork, of course. Chicken is pretty good too, a little dry for me. But that's what that sauce is for. It's for the stale bread and the dry chicken. And the dry, everything's supposed to be kind of dry without the sauce. But times have changed. I wonder when is Mama Juana's, that chain, gonna start serving Chimmy slides. They might even have that already. I don't even know. That's how out of touch I am. But thank you. Thank you for being here. If you like this content, I think you already know what to do. If you don't do it, then it's okay too. I'm glad you're here. You don't have to put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You don't have to comment. And if you did, all you'll be doing is looking out for me. But if you're just looking out for yourself, I'm teasing you. I'm not gonna go there. Thank you again. Boom.